but I am the only person out here who has ever been Universal Champion.
And maybe one day you will again, but there's a lot of beef out here. You've got extraordinary agility, tremendous speed. You've got it all, except against Brock Lesnar, against all this beef. Then, you're a great competitor. I don't know.
You know, Vince, let's be honest. You never believed in me. Well, you hear that? Those people do.
Welcome back, boys and girls. We're here. Finn Balor's the number one contender. He wasn't worried about any beef. He had to take on the beef of Baron Corbin, the beef of John Cena. That's a lot of beef. And the beef of Drew McIntyre. Oh, wait. And he had to do a singles match with Jinder Mahal. That's some Indian beef right there. He did it all. He conquered all the beef. The Scottish beef. The you can't see it beef. And who was the other beef?
Baron Corbin.
The fire beef.
Acting general manager beef.
The Golden Gloves beef. He took all down all the beef. Even the beef of the CEO, Vince McMahon. Finn Balor's officially back. Is he being pushed correctly? We're going to get down to it. Walk, how you doing?
Mike, I'm doing great. I just have one. I have one quick thing I want to call you out on here. Jinder Mahal can't be beef because Indians can't eat cows as part of their sacred religion, and so I think it's more appropriate to call him maybe like curry or something like that, some chicken curry. A little not a fillet. What's some other food that Indians eat? I don't really know. I'm not that cultured, but yeah, Finn Balor, the number one contender. I think that we have been waiting for this for a very long time.
Before you get on, I want to talk about Jinder. Little known fact, he's Canadian. He is a Canadian Indian. He was born in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He's probably a Flames fan, I can only assume. Big hockey guy, I can only assume. We'll have to ask him that one day. But, yeah, I mean, Canadian Indian. We'll call him Canadian beef.
Canadian beef? Okay, we can do Canadian beef. I hear they raise some great cattle up in Canada.
Okay, go ahead. Now back to where we're at.
All right, so I think we had all kind of moved on from the idea of Finn Balor ever really getting a Universal title opportunity again. And I think, what was it, like a couple months ago maybe, we heard that like they were getting to the point where they were going to give Finn Balor a big push. And I think you and I both kind of looked at each other and we said, yeah, okay, sure, we'll believe that when it happens. And I mean, this is a push. This is it. I don't know if he's going to win it or not, but I mean, this is a push. And Brock Lesnar apparently really wants to face him, which, I mean, if Brock Lesnar wants to face you, that's a pretty big compliment, I would say. So
I did hear the news that Brock was really interested in a match with Finn, and I think Brock likes good wrestlers. He likes to go against good wrestlers. He can make them look good. He likes to sell. He likes to go against different guys every now and then, and I feel like that is kind of one of those dream matches he really likes. I saw Brock Lesnar. He was in Minnesota training at the old wrestling facility with the heavyweight champion of the college wrestling, so he was going back at it, getting some training in. It was kind of cool. They were just sparring. It was a really cool thing. But anyway, yeah, Finn getting pushed here. Is this a lot to do with Braun Strowman still being hurt?
I think it does. I think it has a little bit to do with Braun being hurt. I think more likely, though, because Braun... Okay, let's be honest. If Braun Strowman was really that hurt, he probably wouldn't have flipped a fucking limo on Monday Night Raw. So I don't think he's like so hurt to the point where he can't go. I think more of it might have to do with, Vince being in his own deluded head that he thinks that Braun Strowman's like cooled off too much.
He has cooled off a lot.
He has cooled off a lot, but not enough to not have a title run in it.
Oh, I disagree. I think he's cooled off tremendously since he won Money in the Bank, and he hasn't been on TV in like consistently in how long now? Before Survivor Series.
He's been cooled off because of the way Vince McMahon has done it.
He's been injured. He hasn't been on TV enough.
He's only cool. The only reason he's cooled off is because of what they did to him.
I think he also stuck with the get these hands thing too long, and he was just kind of sticking with the same character. He wasn't really progressing. He had he had a really bad feud with Kevin Owens that did nothing for either of them, and everything just cooled off. And I do agree that he just cooled off. I mean, yeah, booking to an extent is definitely a part of it, but to an extent, it's also on Braun Strowman. The injury didn't help. He just couldn't get that fan connection after. He just kind of relaxed on get these hands, and it just kind of like just became stagnant, and it cooled off. Exactly, he just cooled off. He wasn't near. Remember how hot he was? I think last Royal Rumble. I think everyone wanted to win the Royal Rumble last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wasn't at the Royal Rumble last year. He was in a triple threat match for the Universal title with Kane and Brock Lesnar.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty bad match. Yeah,
it was not good.
Yeah, that was a very bad match. Kane never should have been involved in that. I remember that. That was a terrible little feud with him. And then we know at Braun, he won the tag team champs with the greatest wrestler of all time, Nicholas. Nicholas, go get your degree. Stay in school, buddy.
And also then come back and work with us.
Yeah,
You're our first interview, Nicholas.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's definitely cooled off. I know you're more leaning towards, it's the booking, but I think it's a lot to do with everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of think that it's, a self-fulfilling prophecy. They say, like, oh, he's cooled off a bit. That's why we're not going to do it. It's like, yeah, because it's your fault he's cooled off. Like, if you'd kept presenting him strong and kept keeping him fresh and stuff, then you wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah, I think the injury's really kind of the key here. If he's not injured, who knows what he could have done. He could have gotten even hotter, could have got that real push. But, I mean, good for Finn. Finn's very over. He's always been really over. I don't know if you saw the NXT UK show. That crowd was rocking for Finn Balor. It was awesome. Watching him and Devlin go at it.
The only problem I had with that is that Jordan Devlin called himself the greatest Irish wrestler in the world, and then Finn Balor came out to dispute that, but they're both wrong. Neither of them are the greatest Irish wrestler in the world.
It's Fit Finlay, right? Hornswoggle or Fit Finlay?
It's actually the man, Becky Lynch, so you're wrong. Check yourself, Mike, all right? Don't make me come over there and man-slap the hell out of you, you understand? I'll put you in the disarmor so fast.
When is Becky Lynch going to bring out Hornswoggle?
At the Royal Rumble. I'm calling it right
now. I doubt it. That'd be funny if Hornswoggle came out. Hornswoggle should be nowhere near. If he does come out with Becky Lynch should turn on him so quick and just destroy him.
Becky Lynch should put him in the disarmor.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about Finn. Do you believe he has a chance against Brock? Because I kind of think he has a chance.
I am very inclined to believe that Finn Balor has a chance. Yes, I don't know if he's going to win or not, but I really want him to win so badly. I think it's going to be the match style is going to be almost formulaic to the one that Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar had at the Royal Rumble at Survivor Series this past year, where it's going to be a lot of Finn Balor coming from behind and using his speed to kind of after he's been beaten up a lot and kind of wearing him out, that kind of thing, which isn't necessarily bad, but I feel like that's how a lot of Brock Lesnar matches go. Nothing terrible with it because obviously they're all they're good enough matches, but, just might want to mix it up every now and then. I don't know, we'll see.
I got my situation, so I've been thinking about this since Monday night, and, alright, so I'll call it a 3-week plan. It starts last week, where they start portraying Finn as the underdog. He has to beat Jinder Mahal. He has to take on all this beef in the Fatal 4-Way. And John Cena puts him over. He's the underdog, and he earns his spot. So, and then on next Monday, this is what he's going to have to do. He's going to have the best promo of his life. It's going to have to be the biggest promo Finn's ever cut. He's just going to have to say how he's the underdog, how Vince McMahon never believed in him. So after the injury, the title was stripped. WWE didn't have faith in him anymore, couldn't stay healthy. And maybe Finn goes on a little rant. He's like, I didn't even know if I believed in myself at that point. I got stagnant. I was a little cautious. And then at some point, he found his momentum. He said, all right, I'm back. I'm Finn Balor. I'm the best in the world. I'm back. And I know I'm going to need a little more than that at Royal Rumble, so I'm bringing out the Demon. Demon Finn Balor, Royal Rumble. You said it's going to be a comeback effort. I think Finn's going to be the aggressor early with the Demon, and he's going to push. I don't see the Demon losing. So I think that might happen.
I think that needs to be a stipulation for when we do our pick'em next week in preparation for the title match or for the Royal Rumble. Is that if Demon Balor comes out, if the Demon King comes out, then it's Balor by a million. But if it's just regular Finn Balor, I might have to go with Brock Lesnar.
Exactly, I agree. Also, I was thinking if he does go over it with the Demon Finn Balor's going to have to come out at WrestleMania, and I would assume if they do that, it's going to be him versus McIntyre WrestleMania. And then McIntyre will be the first person to beat the Demon due to Vince McMahon and maybe another interference. So my dream scenario for this one, Drew McIntyre, he gets hit with a coup de grace, the ref's counting, and then some guy pulls, let's just say Dolph Ziggler. I don't really, just because he's been there before. Dolph Ziggler pulls the ref out, and the ref's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then Vince McMahon comes running out. Everyone thinks he's going to save Finn, and then boom, Claymore kick or something happens. Vince just counts him real quick and raises McIntyre's hand at the end. It's huge. Huge heel pop. Only way you can beat the Demon. Not truly clean, but it's there.
Well, it looks like the Northern UK Turf War is heading to WrestleMania then.
What do you think about my idea?
It's spilling over into the States now.
What do you think about that?
I liked it. I don't hate it. But Mike, I have a really burning question. So the past 2 weeks, John Cena has put over both Becky Lynch and Finn Balor, which raises the question, is John Cena only ever going to put Irish superstars over from now on? Does he have some sort of deluded, St. Patrick's Day dream in his head where he can only put over Irish superstars?
So, I'm going to answer this question. So, I don't know if he still claims this, but I remember back in the day, from West Newbury, Massachusetts. And you know who's from Massachusetts? The Irish Americans. So maybe John Cena's got a little Irish blood in him, and he's trying to get back to it. He's trying to get back to his roots. He's trying to rediscover himself. And maybe they'll start the IWO, the Irish Wrestling Organization. It's basically the NWO, which is Becky, Cena, and Finn. And it's just his response to get his 17th world title.
Need Sheamus in there, too. You can't forget about that.
Oh, I forgot about Sheamus. You can put Sheamus over next week.
Yeah, that's probably what's happening, I think. Right ahead of their matchup with the greatest tag team in the world, they need to be put over after that abysmal fucking show that they put on at the end of SmackDown this week.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Anything else you want to add about Finn Balor? Is Brock going to be at Raw this week? I would assume he is.
Brock is at Raw this coming up week, yes, on Monday.
Okay. So that'll give us a big idea if we believe Finn can actually beat Brock. Maybe they'll give us the hints if the Demon's going to come out. I don't think they're going to surprise with the Demon. I think they'll tell us.
No, I think it's going to be a surprise. It's always a surprise.
I think Finn's going to speculate and put something kind of clues in there at least.
It's always a surprise, dude.
All right, let's get on to the next big news of the week. Well, the biggest news of the week. We have a new Intercontinental Champion. He's the almighty Lashley. Are you ready for this?
I'm just going to say this right now, Mike. If you thought Leo Rush was bad before, he's about to become more annoying than a 2-year-old who has a poopy diaper. That's all I have to say about that.
Leo Rush is the opposite of annoying. He's money on the mic. He made Lashley a star. I'm actually interested in Lashley. I think this is great for the Intercontinental title. It seemed like recently that it was just Dean and Seth fighting. It didn't even seem like it was for the Intercontinental. I don't even think that was like an afterthought. This is good for the IC title. It's going to be defended. It's going to put more stars over. Now Seth and Dean aren't held back by this little championship. They can go out and be stars, be their own stars, do their own thing, start chasing WWE Championship, what they should be doing, and they can finish their rivalry however they want without the Intercontinental thing. I mean, they didn't even need that. You can put other stars over with the championship, and I think it's good for Lashley, who's been a very good heel. I mean, we're going to have some good feuds, maybe Elias. I don't know who else. Maybe EC3.
I actually 100% agree with you, Mike. Here, I think that for once, taking the title off of somebody is going to enhance a feud, and I think that I agree with you. I think that Dean and Seth don't need the title. I think it becomes more personal without it because their feud was never about titles to begin with. So not having a title in the picture at all helps it to focus more on the characters and not the title, having the title distract from the character development. And I agree. I think that having Bobby Lashley as a champion opens up a lot of possibilities for mid-carders to face him as opposed to, say, Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose, where they kind of were shoehorned into their own feud at that point. Whereas now, Bobby Lashley can move on and do whatever he damn well pleases.
I think Bobby Lashley's also going to be pretty dominant with the championship. I want to see him just be dominant. I think he'll have a good Royal Rumble. He ain't going to win. We know he's not winning. But we'll have a Royal Rumble preview show next week. But we'll talk more about that. Go
I
ahead.
expect him to have a good showing at the Royal Rumble as well. I think you're right.
He'll get a few eliminations. I'm going to say we're going to set the line probably at 3.5, I could assume. Maybe 2.5.
I'd say 2.5.
Okay, because I think he'll get it 3. I think 4 is that number. But, alright, but I think Lio Rush is going to be real fun with Bobby Lashley having the championship. I think it's going to give Lashley a little more swagger. And I think it's going to make for some good television, good little title picture.
You know what I can 100% see in the Royal Rumble is Bobby Lashley getting thrown over the rope, but Lio Rush coming in and saving him.
I don't know how Leo's going to save him.
I don't know, just like have him be fallen over and he accidentally falls on Lio Rush and his feet don't touch the ground or something. Crazier things have happened before. Don't quiz me on this. Don't test me.
I'm just saying, I don't think Lio Rush can carry him and pick him up.
I mean, you never know. You don't know that. You don't know.
He could interfere. I could definitely see him interfering and saving Lashley, but yeah.
He's the 24-year-old piece of gold.
Alright. Let's move on. I think we covered Braun pretty well.
Yeah, I think we hit that already.
You want to talk about these debuts?
Yeah, so we had some good debuts this week. We had Nikki Cross, EC3, Heavy Machinery, and Lacey Evans all make little cameos, kind of blink and you missed them type things on both Raw and SmackDown this week, with Nikki Cross being the only one that got into a match, which I thought was good. She had a really good showing in her tag match with, it was Bayley and Natalya
versus the Riot Squad.
The Riot Squad.
Yes.
With, obviously, with Nikki Cross. Which I was kind of confused because all of them were showing up on Raw at first, and then it was only after that Michael Cole made the announcement that they're going to be showing up on both brands for a while until they find a permanent home somewhere. I would assume after WrestleMania. So,
I've heard,
Mike, where do you think
I've heard rumors that okay, so I heard a rumor that we might be seeing a superstar shakeup after Royal Rumble.
Really?
I heard they canceled some SmackDown show on Monday because they needed the full talent in, I guess, whatever city they're doing Raw in the following Monday after Royal Rumble. So I've also heard rumors that they're trying to get rid of this brand split because they don't feel like they have enough stars on Raw, which I don't think is a problem. I think the brand split's fine, and I think they would benefit from the brand split, especially with them going to Fox in October.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. I think that I think if you don't have a brand split, you're going to run into the problem of having 2 world titles on one show.
I think they would combine the titles if they did that, but I think it'd be oversaturated, and I don't know. I like the brand split because it makes SmackDown and Raw feel special.
Yeah, it makes each one feel much better, honestly. Like, I don't know, it makes each one feel much more complete, if we're being honest with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Putting them together, I feel like it's going to make it just feel really jumbled, and you're going to have the same people getting, like, recognition all the time, and it's just going to feel like there's going to be too many people in the mix, honestly, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, we could potentially see a shakeup following Royal Rumble. I'm assuming they would announce that either next week or at Royal Rumble if they are going to do that.
It might be one of those things that just happens like the night after Royal Rumble, so we'll have to see.
I think they would announce something about it at Royal Rumble, just so they can get more ratings, better draw.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I mean, the night after Royal Rumble is always a big show anyway.
Yeah, Royal Rumble is a really big show.
Well, I'm saying the Raw after Royal Rumble is a huge show anyway, I feel like. It's probably one of their bigger Raws of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right.
Alright, but yeah, I mean, we got Nikki Cross, EC3. EC3 is just kind of posing in the back. Lacey Evans doing kind of the similar thing to EC3. But then we saw Heavy Machinery, who's having a lot of fun back there.
Yeah, Heavy Machinery, they were talking about Heavy Machinery only being like a comedic team, which, in my eyes, is 100% okay. I feel like that's all they're really good for. Not good for, but like, I feel like that's probably about as good as they could hope to do. If they're a regularly occurring comedic act on Raw or SmackDown, I feel like they would be very well utilized in that role.
And then
Otis Dozovic running around just, saying the same incoherent thing over and over again never ceases to make me laugh way harder than it should. And so I haven't gotten tired of it in 2 years of NXT, so I don't think I'm about to get tired of it with anytime soon on Raw or SmackDown.
I want to see them just kind of destroy a few tag teams. So I want to see them bust some people up. I want to see them belly flopping people. I want to see some spine busters. I want to see some of that big house wrestling from them.
Some house wrestling, like it.
Yeah. All right. So, well, also with the Heavy Machinery, we'll transition this way. We saw the Heavy Machinery make their debut with Moment of Bliss. Moment of Bliss, they announced we're going to have the Women's Tag Team Championship. It'll be determined at Elimination Chamber. I believe that's February 15th-ish, around that time. So there's going to be 6 teams, 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown. So I'm assuming that means the split won't be. You can't really split them up.
Yeah, that kind of does, take away from the brand split not happening if they're going to announce that 3 from Raw and 3 from SmackDown.
I mean, you could still shake it up, but I doubt they would combine them if that's already been announced.
Yeah.
So 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown.
They're obviously going to be unified titles.
Yeah. What do you think? Who are we thinking is going to win? What do you think about the championships? What do you think about it all?
I like I like them. The first, champion being crowned inside Elimination Chamber. I think that's really cool. It's a, neat spin on it. I very much like it. We've got some of the tag teams written down here. The Iconics, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Bayley and Sasha, the Riot Squad. I think the Riot Squad is probably the most deserving to be the first ever tag team champs. Maybe not the most deserving. I think you could make an argument that Bayley and Sasha would be the most deserving, but I think the Riot Squad would be the best ones going forward because having 3 of them, they could do the whole little what's that rule? It's like the New Day rule or whatever they call it, where it's
Freebird.
If it's an established, if it's an established staple of more than 2 people, you could have any 2 of them be defend your tag titles or whatever. So I feel like you could have a really cool angle there where you have multiple ones of them defending the titles, where obviously it would, Ruby Riott would be the main one that's defending them because she's the best out of all of them. But
who's your partner in the Elimination Chamber?
I have to say Liv Morgan.
You think so? I was thinking they're going to go Sarah Logan.
No, I would think Liv Morgan because I think she's a better wrestler, to be honest.
I think Sarah Logan would just benefit from the Elimination Chamber just because she's more aggressive and she could be a little more powerhouse.
I could see an argument for that, but I think Liv Morgan's more
I agree with that, but I think she would just be best suited for the Elimination Chamber.
I don't know. We'll have to
but I also think Liv Morgan can have some crazy spots where she just gets thrown through the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Then you got to think about, we also have Nia Jax and
Tamina,
yeah. So, I mean, we got a few tags. I think the Iconics are the favorites.
I don't think they are, dude. I really don't think they are.
I think they're the big tag. Everyone associates them together, and I think they're who they want to put the titles around. I don't know if they might do Bayley and Sasha, but I could see that also. But I don't know, with Sasha Banks doing at Royal Rumble, she may be looking at bigger and greener pastures.
I doubt all that, but I feel like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville might be having a little bit of a rift in themselves as well. We'll talk about
Elimination
that later.
Chamber could separate them.
Maybe, I don't know.
We could have a Carlito, Chris Masters.
Oh boy.
It's a little harder when it's a tag team, but something can cost them.
I think, so Naomi and someone else could happen too. There's a lot of single, I'm going to call them single ladies, if you will, that are just have, no real direction right now. Like Naomi.
Naomi has a direction. She just doesn't have a partner.
She has direction, but I was more talking about someone like Natalya on Raw, who isn't really doing anything right now, and I don't know. She could find someone, I think, that would get in there.
Ember Moon's going to be in there somehow. I don't know who Ember Moon's partner would be.
Maybe Natalya and Ember Moon.
I guess that's a potential team, or Alicia Fox and someone. Mickey James too.
Mickey James and Alicia Fox.
Yeah,
maybe.
Mickey James, Alicia Fox is probably a team.
Who else from SmackDown?
You got the Iconics. You got Mandy and Sonya, and then you have to have one more.
Carmella, maybe.
Carmella may win the Royal Rumble.
Carmella's not going to win the Royal Rumble.
She might. She's not going to win the Royal Rumble. You're right. It's either going to be Charlotte Flair, Becky, or Ronda. It's either Charlotte, Becky, or Ronda. It's one of those three. So I guess Carmella and someone. Who else is on the roster? Naomi, Charlotte, and Naomi.
Yeah, maybe Naomi and Charlotte.
I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be real. I guess that might. I don't think that's going to be the main event, but it could be. The way they're doing all the pushing with the women's evolution, I think it could potentially be it.
I wouldn't hate to see it be the.
I wouldn't hate it either, but it either should be that or the beginning of the night, I think. The first show of the match.
Nah, I don't think it should be.
It should set the tone. I think it would set the tone. I think it'd be really good.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think in the middle, it just wouldn't be good enough. I think it needs to be the first or the last match.
I think it has to main event, if we're being honest with each other.
All right. Well, that wraps up Raw. We got a new little segment we're going to try out. So this is called Therapy Session. We have a fan. We got a fan who's a little disgruntled, and the therapist, he's going to try and reason with him. And that's about all the details we'll give you. And now we'll get into that session, that little therapy session. Good evening. This is Dr. Counsel. I'll be your host this evening. Welcome to therapy. As you guys know, I'm Dr. Counsel. I know you guys have all perceived notions about what therapy is about, but I'm here to tell everyone it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. Today, I'm going to introduce my friend and a person I think really needs to go through some therapy. His name is Harry the Hugger. And Harry, tell us all about you and what's going through your mind.
Well, Doctor, I'm here to talk to you about all the frustrations that have been building up inside me for a very long time now, for about 4, maybe 5 years now, and I just need to get them out.
Well, what's that? What's been bothering you?
Well, I think, as you can hear by my name, Harry the Hugger, that I've been a fan of the huggable one, Bayley, since her days as a powerhouse on NXT, and all I can say is that Vince McMahon doesn't treat her with half the respect she deserves, and this is all coming full circle again with her best friend Sasha Banks getting a Raw Women's title opportunity instead of Bayley.
Harry, let's not point names at other people. Let's focus on your problem, where I think you just you're too infatuated with one wrestler. And you know for a fact that Sasha Banks, she earned that spot fair and square, and she deserves it.
No, it doesn't matter. Bayley's twice the wrestler that Sasha Banks is. Bayley hasn't even had an opportunity in years. She hasn't even had the opportunity to get an opportunity in years. And yet here it is, Sasha just getting handed her opportunity, even after Vince McMahon said that things were going to be earned from here on out.
Well, I mean, maybe you need to look at the bigger picture. She might not be a world champion anytime soon, but there's a real possibility she could be the first ever women's tag team champion with her and Sasha Banks.
Well, normally, I would agree with you, but I know it's just going to end up poorly for Bayley. Every time Corey Graves starts talking about Sasha stabbing Bayley in the back, it breaks my heart a little, because I know that deep down, he's right. Sasha always just uses Bayley, and I wish for once Bayley would stop being so damn amicable and just let Sasha have it so she could win a title for herself. And you know a guy loves to get hugs out here, but he could sure use one every now and then. Come on.
Well, have you considered maybe another wrestler?
No, another wrestler? Why would I do that?
How about, like,
I can't cheat on Bayley.
Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens is coming back from an injury. You can try them. Ooh, maybe you can latch on to Becky Lynch. She's having a great run right now. Or how about this? Even go with Ronda Rousey.
Ronda. Ugh. I hope Ronda breaks Sasha's arm.
That could be your potential teammate. You need to. I think you have an unhealthy relationship with Bayley. Have you met the super fan Izzy?
No, Izzy is actually. I'm actually better than Izzy. I'm a bigger fan than Izzy is.
You're a bigger fan?
I'm a bigger fan.
Like size, like yeah, you are bigger than her. Yeah, I can imagine that. But like, I don't know. She really loves Bayley.
No, I was talking like size wise. Like she's what, like 5'2"?
She's like 4 foot tall.
I'm
she's
like
a child.
6'4". Like I'm 6'4", 230 pounds. I'm much bigger in stature than she is.
Okay, now let's not boast about size here. It's not about that. This is about your infatuation with Bayley, which I think is very unhealthy. Have you? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but have you tried hugging someone?
I just said I needed a hug, and you told me that was inappropriate. So
I never once said it was inappropriate. It is inappropriate to hug me. I am your counselor. We cannot have a connection like that.
There's no one else here. Who am I going to hug?
Don't approach me to hug me. That's very inappropriate. Nope.
Dr. Council, I need a hug.
You know what? This session is we're gonna work on this session. For now, time's up. Thanks for joining us. I think we accomplished a lot today.
I miss the days of NXT when Bayley was booked like the goddess she deserves to be. I miss the crowds chanting, "Hey, we want some Bayley. I want to know if you'll be my girl." I used to sing that at the top of my lungs, and now I can't even get the hot dog guy to give me a hug on Monday nights. It's such a sad world we live in.
I don't think you need to be hugging hot dog guys. They have a job to do, and I'm sure that's just unsanitary. You could use a bath. You look like you've been like... Have you moved from this basement? How long was it the last time you moved from this basement?
The last time Bayley won the Raw Women's title.
That's... You know what? I'm gonna prescribe you with finding a new fan favorite. You're gonna have to find a new wrestler.
Not doing it.
Fine.
Doc, I'm not doing it.
Fine. You gotta hug. You gotta find one person to hug. You gotta move out of the basement, take a shower, put on some cologne, and hug someone.
Does my mom count?
That could count, but we're gonna have to maybe one other person.
That's the only person I know.
Maybe send out a nice tweet to other people. Maybe a good luck tweet to Sasha Banks.
No, I would die before I sent a good luck tweet to Sasha Banks.
Well, okay. Well, that's about all I can do. I know. I think this session went really poorly. I don't think it helped at all. I think your case is even worse than it was before, and I think you have depression. That's about it.
All you did was tell me that I was a terrible human being and tell me to go outside, and I don't want to do any of those things. You're the worst doctor ever. I will not be coming to you again, Dr. Council.
You have to come back. This is court ordered. Your mom is very upset. She's worried. So you are coming back. We'll see you again. Thank you. So that was counseling. I hope you guys enjoyed that. As you can see, the huggable guy, Harry, whatever his name was, he had a stupid name. I don't even think that was his name. He probably made that up.
Get his name right. He's a good human being.
I think he made that name up.
Old.
He's got some problems. Hey, Bayley's got a chance to do some things at the Royal Rumble. Maybe she'll surprise some people. I didn't want to tell him that because I didn't want to get his hopes up because he did not seem like the kind of guy to get his hopes up. But hey, let's move on to SmackDown. Yeah? Or did you want to talk about the other news first?
Yeah, let's go to SmackDown, then we'll talk the rest of the news that we've got.
Okie doke.
All right, so I had one burning question coming out of SmackDown this week, and it was, why does Mandy Rose hate Naomi so much? Because there has been no backstory. Mandy Rose comes out and just berates Jimmy Uso, telling him, "I hate your wife so much. I don't like you. I just hate Naomi." And it's like, where is this coming from? What has Naomi done to make Mandy Rose hate her so much? I am genuinely interested. Mike, you have the inside scoop on this. You told me so earlier. Let me have it. What is it?
So, I saw in the gym recently, Naomi was squatting more than Mandy Rose. And you know, Mandy Rose, she's an athlete. She's a fitness model, I guess. She was a fitness model, currently does a little bit of fitness modeling. And I think Naomi can squat more, and I think she's very jealous. I heard one report that Naomi is in line to get the Maxim cover. Mandy Rose has been in line for this forever. Forever, my friend. And Naomi may be in line. And not only that, Naomi's married. I think Mandy Rose is a little jealous about that. I think she's jealous of Naomi's dancing skills. Naomi has a beautiful personality. And you know what else? Naomi glows. She's fluorescent. No one else is fluorescent. She glows.
That is true. That's a very true thing. I know personally that the world of Maxim Maxim magazine covers is very competitive, and you do not get rewarded for cutting to the front of that line. And if Naomi did that, then all I can say is she better watch her back because Mandy Rose is coming for her.
I also heard that Naomi may have had a snide comment about Mandy Rose's Instagram. I heard she may have said that her Instagram is not that good. Let me be the first to say, her Instagram is that good. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. I follow it very hard. I have my posts and notifications on it. It's a great follow. And I don't know where this hate... that's where the hate I believe is coming from. But I can only speculate here.
I think that's a good speculation, Mike. We'll come back to you whenever as the story develops some more. So be sure to keep on it for us.
My other speculation is maybe Sonya becoming friends with Naomi and We got some jealousy in the air, you know?
I could see that.
Potentially. That's about all I have. I don't know.
All right, that was good. So we will now move on to the best free TV match in recent memory
Of the year.
Andrade Almas versus Rey Mysterio.
Of the year, would you say it's the match of the year so far on SmackDown Live Television?
It's the match of the year so far. Like,
Not match. I don't know about match of the year, but it's definitely the free match of the year.
what was better than that? What match has been better than that so far in 2019?
Will Ospreay put on a pretty good match. That
Ospreay,
Impact
yeah.
match with the tag team match was phenomenal.
LAX and Lucha Brothers was better than that. Yeah, I agree.
But yeah.
I was looking for WWE match of the year so far, but
Yeah, for WWE, it's match of the year. I would agree with that.
so far. But yeah, I mean, there are other ones outside of WWE that I would agree are better than that so far. But anyway, I also just have one more thing to say about this, and that is that WWE can take Andrade Almas, his last two names, they can take them from my cold, dead hands.
Oh.
This is a pro last two name podcast, and we will continue to call him Andrade Cien Almas until WWE shows him the respect he deserves and gives him back his last two names.
I don't know if it's better for our podcast if I jump against you and be like, all right, dude, it's just Andrade, or if I should just go all in and join you. I think it's going to be better for the podcast if we just go pro full names. So I'm right. I think you're right.
Names.
I'm going to go pro names.
Full name podcast.
What was Elias's last name?
Samson.
That's what I thought, but I was a little confused. I don't know if that's right. But yeah, Elias Sampson, Andrade Cien Almas, Alberto Del Rio. Just great names, you know? I feel like someone else had their name cut off recently, but I can't remember.
Apollo Crews.
Oh, does he just go by Apollo now?
He did, but they changed it back.
No. I feel like they're going to start calling Baron Corbin just Baron, and that's going to be weird.
That's just going to be terrible.
That's a young English name. That's just like a little 8-year-old has a butler. Maybe they start a book about him, and Baron loses his mom at the mall, and he's all worried, and he's just freaking out. Nice little children's book about Baron. That's not going to be a good name.
It was Elias Sampson, so we were right about that.
Okay, cool. But yeah, Andrade Almas, Mysterio, great match. I really hope this feud continues just because they put on such great matches, and I would love to see them just with a stipulation, maybe like some falls count anywhere, potentially a hair versus mask match.
Hair versus mask match.
That's a WrestleMania must. I would love to see that so much.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, that's all I really got for that one.
Great match. I mean, there's not much else you can say about. Great match. Zelina Vega.
Ridiculously athletic, ridiculously good match. That's it.
Zelina Vega adds so much to Andrade Cien Almas.
She's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
I really want someone to make a supercut of her just losing her mind every time either Almas almost gets pinned or every time he almost pins somebody. I want a supercut of her reactions like throughout NXT and WWE, just every time she loses her mind, good and bad.
That would be good. I would enjoy that. Did Rusev ever have a last name? I don't know if he ever had a last name, but we need to give Rusev... Oh, I feel like Rusev could be the last name, though. We got to give him a full name.
Was his last name for a while.
We need to give him a full name. We'll work on that.
Hang on, I'm getting it right now.
All right. Other than that, I mean, Sheamus, he needs a full name. Cesaro, he needs a full name. The Miz, Mike Mazanian, we'll just call him Mike Mazanian.
It used to be Alexander Rusev.
Alexander Rusev. He's back to Alexander. Alexander the Great. So I think we accomplished a lot there. We're pro names. Can't take names away from people. That's not cool.
Can't do it. You're taking away their identity. You're stripping them of the very essence that makes them them.
I agree.
Can't be done.
All right. Go ahead. What's next?
All right, so let's talk a little. Let's put our thinking caps on here, Mike, and we're going to do some sleuthing here because Kevin Owens, the mystic man that he is, has tweeted out some very cryptic things that I think that you and I need to investigate. You will recall, on the night of January 14th, he tweeted out...
I need you to set the mood a little more. What kind of moon was out? How was the air? Was it foggy? I need you to set the mood.
It was a waning moon.
Ooh, I don't know what that means.
Waxing,
what does that mean? Waxing? You gotta... I don't think our listeners are the brightest, and I'm not the brightest, so you're going to have to be a little more descriptive. You're
It was
being
a
very
waning
descriptive.
Moon, so that means so if it's a waxing moon, it means it's getting bigger. If it's a waning moon, it means it's getting smaller.
Okay.
So it's a waning moon, so it means it was getting smaller. It was on the way down from a full moon back to a no moon again.
How big? Were we like half moon, quarter moon?
We were about a half moon, I think.
Okay. Half ember moon?
Half crescent spectacles.
Okay.
It was approximately 63% humidity, I believe.
Okay.
And you will recall that Kevin Owens tweeted 2 pictures. Number 1 was himself winning the Intercontinental title and biting said title.
At 9:14 p.m. I want to point out 9:14 p.m. This is very important.
The timeline's important here. The timeline's very important here. And then you will recall that 45 minutes later, at approximately 9:59 p.m., he tweeted out a picture of the Universal title with Finn Balor's plates on it. Now, later that night, on Monday Night Raw, after his Intercontinental title tweet, guess what happened?
What happened?
Bobby Lashley won the Intercontinental title.
Boom. Boom. The Almighty.
So, I am prone to speculation that Finn Balor is going to do something with the Universal title. Or Kevin Owens is going to do something with the Universal title, since Finn Balor's the one in the picture. Because Kevin Owens was the one in the picture with the Intercontinental title, and Bobby Lashley was the one who won it. So Finn Balor's the one in the Universal title picture, and so Kevin Owens is going to win the Universal title.
I like where you're at, and you're completely correct. I have 2 more tweets I want to point out. One is a dog. A very cute bulldog. British bulldog. Tell me some facts about British bulldog.
Well, the British Bulldog invented the move, the Bulldog, as we all know. He was a fantastic wrestler, one that we all know and love. We miss him very much, actually.
Can you tell me about all the titles he won? Can you go on Wikipedia? Give us a quick rundown on that.
I'm pulling up the Bulldog's stats right now, if you will.
Okay, thank you. We're fact checking right now. So he posted a tweet of a bulldog, very cute bulldog. Kevin Owens is holding it. This is at 8:30, January 15th, 2019. And Chad replies under, he's a squishy boy. Make sure you tell him how good he is. Kevin does not respond. So I assume this is a calculated tweet. Tell me about the Bulldog's stats real quick.
He was the inaugural WWF European Champion and holds the record for the longest single reign and total days. He also held, real quick, he held the title again on a sole occasion where a match at one night only, he held that twice. And I know he won more than that.
He won an Intercontinental title, I believe.
Yeah, he definitely won the Intercontinental.
Does it not say it in there?
There it is, yeah, Intercontinental Champion. He was the Intercontinental Champion in 1992.
And tag champs, for sure, tag champs.
Yeah, I could find that somewhere.
That's okay, but we got what the gist. So, you said the longest European champion of all time?
Yeah, he was his cousin Dynamite Kid. They were the British Bulldogs tag team title. Yeah.
Yes, but the longest reigning European champion of all time. As we know, Kevin Owens was at one point the longest reigning WWE Universal Champion. And another tweet, the same day as the Intercontinental post, 8 o'clock, beginning of Monday Night Raw, as I believe, maybe an hour in, 1:14:19. He tweets a picture of his lovely dog. I don't know what kind of dog it is. Beautiful dog. But that's 2 dogs. Dogs, compared to human years, 7 years is dog years, 1 year is a human year. 7 times 2, 14. Kevin Owens is going to enter at number 14. He is going to eliminate the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley, and then he's going to challenge Finn Balor for the Universal Champion.
I also have to do a little correction here, printer retraction here. The British Bulldog was a tag team champion with Owen Hart as a member of the Smoking Guns. So
okay.
I messed that up. I'm sorry. I apologize to all our listeners out there.
But regardless, our predictions are 100% accurate. That's Twitter 100%. Investigators. We've done the research. You don't even have to research this. We know everything that's going on. Oh, and also, did we point out what Kevin Owens' name is now on Twitter?
It is soon, ish. So,
and I don't think that's a stab at the Usos. It could be.
It could be. You never know with
Day
Kevin
one
Owens,
ish. I don't think so. Soonish.
I doubt it.
It doesn't mean he's coming back soonish. He's coming for the championship soonish.
I really don't know, but just a summary: we got 2 title pictures, bookended by 2 very adorable doggos, and Kevin Owens wins the Royal Rumble, coming at the number 14 times Finn Balor WrestleMania. He wins the Universal title.
One second.
That's what
One
we've
sec.
deduced.
You cut
You
out.
take it to the bank.
You cut out pretty good. So I want you to repeat that.
Okay, I'll go through it again, nice and slow for all you out here. Apparently, the computer couldn't keep up with my fast, quick wit. You got 2 title pictures in the middle, bookended by 2 pictures of very good doggos. In summary, 2 doggos, 2 times 7, 14. Kevin Owens enters the Royal Rumble, number 14, wins the Royal Rumble, challenges Finn Balor for the Universal title at WrestleMania, wins the Universal title at WrestleMania from Finn Balor.
Also eliminates the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley.
I forgot about the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley.
But yes.
The almighty Bobby Lashley.
Yes. And that's Twitter investigators. All
I
right.
think we done some good work today. Based on some more and that's a nice segue into our next part with more investigation that was done, not by us though, by other people, that said that the Revival, Mike and Maria Kanellis, and maybe not Dolph Ziggler, but the Revival and Mike and Maria Kanellis have asked for releases from their WWE contracts.
Yeah, some big news. The Revival. We've heard the rumors. The Young Bucks have been targeting the Revival. They've been devil's advocate, trying to get them to leave, trying to get them all to go AEW. They're one of the best tag teams in the world. In terms of the Revival,
they're being severely misused in WWE.
They've apparently asked for release after the Lucha House Party match. Mike and Maria Kanellis, they haven't really been doing much. They're asking for a release. No surprise there. Maybe we'll see the Revival on AEW. I don't know what Mike and Maria Kanellis, their game plan is. They might just be taking time away, watch after the kid, go to a home life.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. From what some people have been saying, it seems more likely that Mike and Maria Kanellis are going to go back to Ring of Honor and not All Elite.
Okay.
So that would be something interesting to watch, maybe. I'm not really sure. Maybe it is more of stability they're looking for because they wouldn't be traveling as much with Ring of Honor. They'd be traveling, obviously, a little bit, just not as much as with WWE or All Elite, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then the other news, Dolph Ziggler, whose contract expires at the end of the month, he's turned down an offer from WWE to be a producer, which is a little surprising. Not a wrestling contract. They gave him the producer contract. We don't know what Dolph Ziggler's next move is. He's talked many times about being unhappy with WWE, so maybe this is the end of the line for Dolph. I would like to see him get one more match at WrestleMania, a nice farewell, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure what Dolph Ziggler's plan is. I think that he's been used pretty well in the past year, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I know that just being used in a certain way that is to your liking doesn't always equate to being happy in the position you're at. So I can't really speak to how happy he is or anything like that. But I hope what he does find whatever he needs. By all accounts, he's a great dude, and I just hope he gets whatever he's looking for.
Yeah. And now for people that do want to be in WWE, Jerry the King Lawler, he has signed a 2-year deal. He's back. It's been announced that JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry the King Lawler will be calling the Royal Rumble, the men's match, I believe, which is pretty cool. I love Corey Graves. I'd like to hear Corey Graves call that. But it's kind of cool to get the old school crew there.
Nice. I think it'd be really fun if the reason for this is they might be using Corey Graves with Renee Young and someone else, I think Michael Cole, to call the women's Royal Rumble match.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. That's fair. I also heard that I think they were just trying to keep Jerry away from AEW, and I think the other news is they want Jerry for Jim Ross, because they're really worried that Jim Ross might be going to AEW after his contract with whoever expires.
Yeah.
So they might be looking to bring Jim Ross back in some capacity.
He still technically has a WWE contract, I think.
Yeah, I believe
Jim Ross does. So yeah, I think that's part of it, is they're trying to keep them both from going to All Elite. I don't know that Jerry Lawler was ever really going to go to All Elite. I think he's actually kind of happy with how much he does for WWE.
That might be, yeah, you're probably right.
Jim Ross, on the other hand, I don't really know too much about.
called. I believe he calls Ring of Honor every now and then. I think he called New Japan for English commentary last year.
He did, but he's not doing that anymore. I know.
Yeah, I know he had like some problems health wise, but I could see him doing some AEW stuff. I know he would call some matches for them if they gave him something to do. One more thing I wanted to touch on. There was a news report earlier today. It said if anyone from their roster can show a contract of somewhere like trying to offer them, they would match that offer and raise it significantly and most likely double that contract offer.
Wow, I did not hear about that. That is a very big dick move by Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I don't. They said they would double the offer, but they definitely said raise significantly. So and make it a much better contract. So he does not want to lose the talent. We'll see what's going on. I mean, after January, we got the announcement of Kenny Omega. We'll see where Dolph Ziggler goes. Royal Rumble coming up. A lot of wrestling news coming your way. And with that, go ahead.
I was going to say, how crazy is this? That this is like, for all intents and purposes, like I'm going to give like the definition of like an indie wrestling promotion as like basically one that's like not one of the main ones. So like I don't think I classify like Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Like I don't classify them as like the indies.
Yeah, I don't.
Like
yeah, I mean
those are major wrestling promotions. Like
yeah,
but I would say that like All Elite, because they're still so young, even though they do have big names heading them, are indie still, I would say. Because we don't know how big they're going to be yet.
Yeah, you're right, but I mean, I don't think they're an indie. I know what you're saying.
I would still call them indie, but this is Vince McMahon, like, pulling out all the stops for an indie wrestling promotion that hasn't even had a show yet.
Well, they've had one show, but it hasn't really been the AEW title.
No, it wasn't AEW. That was just All In. That was just an indie wrestling show.
Yeah, I'm saying they had the show, but it wasn't really an All Elite show.
Yeah, it wasn't an All Elite. So All Elite has had no shows yet.
Yes, you're right.
They're causing this kind of effect on WWE.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for wrestling. Everyone's going to get paid. Everyone's going to get better deals.
It's great for wrestling.
Everyone's going to get paid. Everyone's going to get better. It's going to help out. And with that, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it for our show.
I believe that's it. What do we got coming up in the future?
Well, we have our weekend recap show next week again. We will be putting that out on Wednesday. We also have our Royal Rumble preview show, which we'll talk preview for the Royal Rumble and NXT TakeOver Phoenix. We also have Mike and I's picks coming out that will be published next Saturday before NXT TakeOver Phoenix. So be looking for all that. It will be posted on our Twitter @TablesTLP, so make sure you're following that. We tweet out the links for all the shows and our pick'ems and stuff from there, so make sure you're following. Mike, what else you got for our lovely viewers at home?
Follow along. Monday night for Raw, we'll be live tweeting that. Tuesday night for SmackDown, we'll be live tweeting that. 2 big shows, the last shows before Royal Rumble. We'll have those episodes up. I don't know when the Royal Rumble preview will be out. We'll tweet that out, and we'll let you know. But the weekly podcast should be out Wednesday, if not latest Thursday. But yeah, that's about it, and I think that's it. Did we come up with a new saying yet?
We have not. We're still in limbo about our saying.
Top beef out.
Top beef out.
Top beef out.